Hello, fight fans. James Smith from In This Corner for Fight Now TV. Day 2 from the International Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York. Great day for the fans. We had the fist casting, and we caught up with former light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion Dwight Qawi, who was inducted here in 2004. He was gracious enough to come inside the ring here and do an in-ring demonstration, as was the Pride of Wales, Joe Calzaghe, who will be inducted. He granted me my first rematch, and by the way, he remains unbeaten. The Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, also very excited to be inducted the 25th International Boxing Hall of Fame from Canastota, New York. With inductee, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Just had your fist casted. Did that hurt as much as some of those shots you landed on all your opponents?
It didn't hurt as much, but it felt cold. It just felt surreal, you know. It felt like, wow, is this, somebody please wake me up, because it feels like a dream, you know, just being here. I'm enjoying every second of this moment here, Canastota, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. It really is a dream come true.
And for the young lad from California to the Olympics to multiple world titles, great promotional career, and it culminates here. Has it hit you yet?
It hasn't. It hasn't. I think I can picture. I can picture Sunday when we get the official induction. I can picture it there with me, with tears, crying, and just appreciative of all the fans. That's what it's really all about, you know. But just the whole career and looking back at all the fights and the punches I received, the punches I gave, everything that we did in boxing, everything that we're going to continue to do in boxing. It's a validation here on this weekend. You know, the Boxing Hall of Fame is kind of like the stamp of approval, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here.
And Dad's here. I bet you there's somebody else that's looking down that you wish were here.
Oh boy, I can't believe 25 years ago, you know, I won that gold medal for my mom.
How happy would she be, and is she right now?
She's looking down at me, taking care of me in every single moment that I live, and this is all for her. This is all for her. It hurts me, and it's painful to think that that she didn't live it physically with me, but I know she's looking down at me.
And how did it feel to go in with a guy that you know a little bit about named Tito? You guys had a lot of parallels, born the same year, 45 fights, fought a lot of the same guys.
Boy, we fought a lot of the same guys. We fought against each other, and look, I wish him all the best. Tito's such a good guy. I love the guy. He and I will be in the history books forever together. So it really is such a huge honor, such a blessing that we can come together and just do it for all the fans.
Congratulations, and enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in Vegas in a few.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
For 25 years, the greats from around the country and around the world have gathered here in Canastota. The great pugilist. There have been all different kinds, but one thing has remained the same, one consistent. The man next to me, Ed Brophy, who makes it all happen. Great to see you.
Always great to be with you. It's Hall of Fame weekend time.
And did you ever imagine, way back in the late 80s when this whole thing started, that 25 years later you'd still be here even?
Well, the effort was always to have a Hall of Fame for many generations, so that was always anticipated. Whether it was myself or others, you never know. But I've been trying to play my part, and everybody's played a lot of parts, and that's what's made the magic. We got a lot of volunteers, the Village of Canastota, community organizations, the world of boxing, boxing fans. Everybody plays a part. So here we are, 25 years later, celebrating a landmark occasion.
And it is. You use that word. And I got to say, there is something magical about all of this. Joe Calzaghe sat down with us yesterday with his daddy, and he said, I didn't know what to expect, but now, and I said, believe me, it's addictive too. What is it about the magic that makes all of this come together for 25 years now?
Yeah. Well, I think, it's a small village, blue-collar community like boxing. Boxers come up from small towns, and some come up from larger towns. But boxing is a blue-collar sport, and Canastota is a blue-collar community, and the love of boxing is deep in the history of Canastota, over 100 years of boxing history, the bare knuckle boxing, high school boxing teams. Carmen Basilio puts Canastota on the boxing map in the 1950s. Boxing continues. We have another champion in Billy Backus in the 70s. We have other ranking welterweights, other amateurs. So boxing has always meant a lot to Canastota. So I think the reason why it has always worked and works well is because of the real reason of appreciating boxing and honoring boxing in a unique way, as other sports do. Cooperstown does it for baseball, Canton, Ohio does it for football, Springfield, Mass does it for basketball, Fort Lauderdale, Florida does it for swimming, name, the list goes on and on. Canastota does it for boxing, and it's really unique, it's special, and all the volunteers that play a part in it all are really enthusiastic and care about the sport. So I think you put that together, then you put the champions together, who sometimes aren't as recognized in their own hometown, or it's been a while that they've really been on top of the world, but they come to Canastota, they're on top of the world, they're a champion, and they're being applauded, they're asking for autographs. So it's really exciting, and the magic between the fans and the celebrities, the mingling and the stories, and all that goes on really creates such a great feeling, and really everybody appreciates boxing, and it's a celebration of boxing. So that's why I think it works, and it's been working for 25 years, and it looks like it's something that's going to be everlasting because it has its roots, its foundation, it's strong. The museum's a beautiful museum. It's growing in size. A lot of good things are happening. But this is a time on this given weekend to pause and celebrate the 25th anniversary. Everybody, from the fans to the champions, to the media, to everybody that's involved in boxing. If you got boxing in your blood, this is a time to celebrate. It's very important. It's a great weekend. It's a great turnout of champions, and we're so excited to honor the new inductees.
Yeah, and speaking of them, you know, one of the things that really makes this thing work, too, is the camaraderie. And what's great is watching Felix Tito Trinidad moving around last night when he was being introduced, and Oscar in the background getting excited. And then there's unbeaten Joe Calzaghe. Those three featured in this phenomenal class. Talk about it.
Well, what do you say? They're among the top of boxing. If you go through the boxing history, and in 50 years from now, and you flip back through the pages, you've got to find a page on each of them because they're among the greats. And they all go in on the same year. They retired 5 years ago. Who would have ever thought that their retirement would have been the same? They met the criteria, and they go into the Hall of Fame together. They're having fun together, and the fans are enjoying them, and their plaques on the wall really stand out among the greats because they all had great careers and exciting careers. And look what they did for boxing, how many fans they created. And it wasn't just for a short period of time, it was a long period of time. And all the fans continue to love all of those three today. And it's just great to have them in Canastota, to see them enjoying it, but also on Sunday to receive the Hall of Fame ring and the plaques on the wall, and what that does for the sport of boxing, what it does for each of them. So it's just a great class of inductees. Three great modern boxers who are elected in the class of 2014.
I went in the gym. People don't know this. When I went into Joe Frazier's, I was dancing around like Ali, like what you was doing. They laughed at me. And they said,
They laugh at me, too.
They told me you got to settle down. And then they put me in there with Bad Benny Briscoe, who made me curve. No more standing up straight. They put me in there, Bobby Boogaloo Watts. Willie Worm Monroe had a jab like this. Yeah. And I said, you know what? My head was going. The guy taught me, like throw the jab. No, at my head, not over.
All right.
I stopped it just like that, right? And I do it again. And I lean back. They taught me things like that. And I said, you know what? I ain't got to get hit no more. So I learned that style. And they said again, if you're out here, you're on the end of his power, he can close his eyes and hit you. So get inside. Get off the line. There's an invisible line right here. You know what I mean? Get off the line. Never stay in front of him. Little techniques. Everybody think boxing is you hit me, I hit you. It's technique.
Distance, leveraging, and timing. Distance, leverage, and timing is really what this sport is all about, and I think you were a master at that. Talk about that.
Yeah, like I said, with the distance and timing, I always like to feint. I always like to bring the opponent on. But when I get inside, I like to work on the inside as well. I don't like to fight from this range. It's either from the distance, so I go to move back and forth, use my jab on the outside, make you lead, and then I come across, work the body, mix the punches up. I use a lovely left uppercut. You come with your head low, I come with the uppercut, and the cross. On the inside, I always make sure I tie a guy up inside and move this way, come to body shot. Yeah, angles, always angles. Always moving my head, always moving my feet.
We have a kidney doctor in the house at all?
So a couple of dirty punches sometimes. Nothing wrong with the odd,
well,
the odd kidney
you had
shot.
a guy that did that to you, didn't you? Bernard. He was a master at that.
That's
we
okay.
can ask Tito about what Bernard did to him during those 12 rounds. 46-0. It culminates the young lad from Wales right here in Canastota. And I think my buddy Andre's Ward's going to be here. But for right now, I got to tell you, I think he's the greatest super middleweight champion of all times. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys.